enthusiasm becomes somewhat blunted when he finds out that vote-catching can be a dirty business. Vote, vote, vote for Nigel Barton, next Tuesday at 9:30. Newsnight on 2 in just over 5 minutes will be examining the government's decision to send Royal Navy minesweepers to the Gulf and asking a Foreign Office minister and the Iranian ambassador to the United Nations for their views.
Thursday night on BBC One, there's comedy with Alas, Smith and Jones at 9:30.
What about you and, You and, What you mean, Yeah. No.
And at 10 o'clock, more of the same from Phil Cool in Cool It.
Mel and I have been asked to read out the nominees for the 1986 Academy Awards. Haven't we, Mel?
Yeah. They asked Paul Daniels, but he accidentally fell asleep under a sun lamp and melted.
Alas, Smith and Jones and Cool It. Comedy for Thursday night on BBC One.
And not so cool now, some more of America's young comedians are introduced by Jasper Carrott.
On tonight's show, you'll find all. On tonight's show, you'll be hearing about thin people, fat people, black people, psychopaths, anorexias, the royal family. On tonight's show, you'll be hearing about department stores. Look, I haven't learnt my lines. Okay. On tonight's show, you'll be hearing about thin people, fat people, black people, anorexics. I'm not bloody Robin Day. What the hell do you expect? You'll be seeing comedians and comedians from all over America performing in clubs in New York and Los Angeles because we couldn't afford to go anywhere else. That's why we've only got 2 damn venues. Tonight we're at the Comic Strip in New York, where the show is about to start. No, it's not. It happened 3 days ago. It's all bullshit. For those of you not totally familiar with the Martian language, say I've done this already, but we've got loads of tapes, so we can keep on going. Comedy clubs in America are quite often situated in nondescript shopping areas like this. Here we go to an outside view of the Comic Strip. The Comic Strip is one of New York's oldest and most popular comedy venues. No, it wasn't. No, it isn't. It's very cheap, which is why we're here. I've been a starting... No, it hasn't. It's been the starting point for comics like Eddie Murphy, Steve Martin, and millions of others you've never heard of, so it doesn't matter. We don't have to put those people on. We've got all these cheapos coming in who are useless, but I'm getting paid lots of money.
You folks are really...
Stand Up America featured on stage at the Comic Strip in New York, Emo Phillips, Dennis Wolfberg, Jerry Seinfeld, and from the Improv Club in Los Angeles, Glenn Hirsch.
Next week, we'll be marking in several ways the death 10 years ago of Elvis Presley. On Saturday evening and next Tuesday evening, 2 concerts recorded in 1968 and 1973. And on Sunday and Monday, a 2-part documentary on his life. As well as these programmes, here on BBC One, BBC Two launches a season of his films. Our celebration of Elvis begins on Saturday. This is BBC One. And now some more attractive culinary creations, plus advice on buying the ingredients in Ken Hom's Chinese cookery.
Did you know there are 1,100 different varieties of rice in China? This steamed rice. All of today's recipes can be found in the book which accompanies the series. Next time, I'll be showing you how to make some wonderfully tasty snacks, including sesame prawn toast and cold Peking pork. And we'll be visiting a special snack restaurant in Hong Kong, so join me then.
There's a BBC video and 2 BBC books of Ken Hom's Chinese cookery available at the usual retailers. And for a free leaflet on where to obtain authentic Chinese ingredients, please send a large stamped addressed envelope to Chinese Cookery Leaflet, BBC Television, London W12 8QT. Wednesday evening on BBC One begins with Wogan and his guests, including Imran Khan, Shirley Bassey and James Burke. At 7:40, Lisa Goddard and William Rushton lead the ladies and gentlemen respectively in another game of musical recollection presided over by Barry Cryer, Music Match. Then the saga of the Corbys continues at 8:10. After the 9 o'clock news, Julian Pettifer at 9:30 looks at the natural history of pasture and meadow to be found in the living isles of Britain and Ireland. Finally at 10:10, our screen story with part 2 of The Godfather, tomorrow on BBC One. And the weather tonight will be cloudy over the whole country with extensive hill and coastal fog, especially in the southwest. Outbreaks of rain will affect many coasts and hills with some heavier bursts of rain over the highlands of Scotland. Later in the night, rain, some of it heavy, will return to Northern Ireland. A mild night with temperatures ranging from 10 degrees Celsius, 50 Fahrenheit in the north, to 15 Celsius, 59 Fahrenheit in the southwest. It will continue mostly cloudy tomorrow, with rain over Ireland spreading to most other parts, though the Northern Isles and southeast England may stay mostly dry. Brighter weather will push into Northern Ireland during the late afternoon, and in the southeast, temperatures could reach a muggy 22 Celsius, 72 Fahrenheit. Northern Ireland and Scotland will have a breezy day. And that's the forecast.
Have you ever watched small children at play? In spite of all the rough and tumble, they usually come to very little harm. But just imagine them doing all this within a few feet of water. If you're not there, think how different the story could be. Never let small children out of your sight if you know they can get anywhere near water, however shallow. Children love water, but water can kill.
That was a public information film. The Radio 2 rail show has been on the move again, leaving Wales behind, and by tomorrow it'll have come to a halt at Morecambe Station. On board, as usual, is Ken Bruce, and he'll be meeting some Lancashire lads and lasses in his show at 9:30 in the morning. Meanwhile, Brian Matthew is still in Edinburgh, where again tonight, in round midnight, you can hear him chatting to some of the personalities involved in the 41st Annual Festival. But here on BBC One now, that's all for tonight, and on behalf of all of us here, once again, this is Andy Cartledge, thanking you for joining us and wishing you a very good night.